not about the money. It's not about the money. It's just about the helping. It's about the exchange. It's about what you can give them and what they can give you in return. Good day, everybody. Welcome back to another Chinwag. So in this little episode, I'm going to be talking about voluntary work. Voluntary work, folks. It's an amazing thing. It's something I got involved with back in 2009, actually. And I'm currently on a voluntary stay here in sunny southwest Wales, just outside of a place called Cardigan. There's a small little town called St Dogmiles, or Llandudno, if you're from Wales. I've been here just nearly a week now, and I've just been to a place for a week previous to this as well. So 2 weeks in total, 2 different places, 2 amazing stays. Basically, I'll start from where I began, was when I was traveling back in 2010 in New Zealand. I'd just been to Australia for a year, and I pretty much got the travel bug, and I didn't want to go home. So with no money, that was very difficult to get to another country. I had my plane ticket from Australia already booked to go home, but I was looking to go elsewhere, and I chose New Zealand. Didn't have any money. I had an overdraft on my bank at the time, which I was going to use. So I kind of had a backup, but I really didn't want to get into that situation. So a long story short, we ended up we started in Queenstown, was it? No, sorry, Kaikoura, a little place called Kaikoura. Sorry, we flew into Queenstown. From Queenstown, we got a road trip. We had a few days road trip with another guy I'm still in touch with called Scotty. All right, Scotty, if you're watching this. We got a lift with him from Queenstown up to Kaikoura, and then we ended up in a hostel there. And we were in the kitchen there one day, and there was another guy that I'm still in touch with, Simon. Hello, Simon, if you're watching this. He was cooking some bread in the kitchen, in the hostel kitchen, and he was from Herefordshire. So we were just chatting about the UK and general things, and I was asking what he was, how he was traveling about and stuff, and he was saying, I'm kind of doing voluntary work around here so I can earn my keep and my food, and sometimes make a little bit of money on the side if they've got extra work to do. I was like, oh, that sounds pretty good. Like, that sounds pretty decent. What's the crack there, like, So he ended up going on to tell me about this website called Helpexnet, which I still use to this day, and that's why I'm here. But we'll come on to that anyway. So long story short, he said you just need to register. I think at the time it was £16, so about $20 US, for 2 years worth of membership to join the Helpex.net website. And then that gives you access to everyone that wants help, or if you're someone that wants help, you can look for helpers as well. So I was like, wow, that sounds pretty good. That's kind of ideal for what we need. We've got no money. We're happy to do a bit of work for our board and our food and that kind of thing. So anyway, on that day, after speaking to him, we went online, we registered, and then we just looked in our immediate area of places where we could volunteer. So basically, when you register to helpex.net, I'm not getting sponsored by them by the way, for this video. There's nothing to do with that. It's just I loved the website. Because of the experience I had in New Zealand through using the website, I can't encourage people enough to use it, So that's why I'm going on about Helpex.net. There's plenty of others. There's Workaway. There's like Woofing in Australia. It's that kind of thing. But I find it's more varied on Helpex. There's more of a variety of work to do, and various people. Anyway, so we registered, and then once you register, you then get full access to everyone in the world. You can look at it like a map, basically. So I chose New Zealand, and then you can choose the town, you can choose the area of where you are or where you would like to volunteer. You click on that, and then it comes up with a list of everyone basically that wants help. But if you're also someone that wants help, if you're a host, that's the word. If you are a host and wanting to look for helpers, you can also do that as well, like I just said. But I was looking for work, so I was looking for the voluntary work. So I clicked on Kaikoura. I'm not sure. It's just the area. I think it's not the actual name of the town. I think it's just the area. So once you click on the area, and then all of the list of people in that area come up, and it tells you exactly where they are, what the kind of work they do, what kind of place it is, whether it's a farm, a normal house, or whatever, you know. So we clicked on Kaikoura. Long story short, there was a farm there. Done. I messaged him straight away. There's two of us. There was two of us at the time. There's two of us looking for some work. We're available immediately. One thing I need to stress as well on this website, you put your own profile up. So you put your pictures up, you describe your skills, you know, what you're good at, what you're not good at, what you'd like to do, what kind of character you are, all that kind of stuff, you know. So I did all of that. I did it very quickly, messaged the guy. He immediately got back in touch with me and says, yes, we're looking for a couple of helpers. I can come and pick you up this afternoon. So we were like, okay, yeah, no worries. Fine. So we just waited for him in the hostel. Sure thing. A couple of hours later, he came to pick us up, took us to the farm, and we stayed there for 3 months, basically. Way longer than we expected to, because we enjoyed it that much, you know. So we were working for 4 hours a day, and therefore you get your accommodation, your room, your bed, and you also get your food in with that, you know. Everywhere's different. Some people might want 3 hours of work a day just for your accommodation, and you might have to bring your own food. Some people might want 5 hours a day, but you get, you know, like I say, you'll get your bed, you'll get your food, and maybe a bit extras. They're all varied. You come up with your own kind of agreement with people, but they're, you know, the helper, the people that are looking for help, usually state on their page how many hours you do for whatever in exchange, you know. So it's a great exchange. Basically, it's more than voluntary. It's an exchange. You know, you're giving your time, your effort, and they're, rather than giving you money, they're giving you accommodation and food. So it's a great exchange without money, you know. So we stayed there for 3 months. We planned on staying there for a month, and then the farmer was pretty happy with the work we were doing, and he offered us extra hours for a little bit of extra money. We were skint at the time, so we were like, yeah, that's cool, we'll do that. So long story short, again, we ended up staying for 3 months. Amazing time. The farmer used to take us to the pub every Friday for a meal and for some drinks, to say thank you for a great week of work and things like that, you know. So for 6 months, we basically used that all around New Zealand. So from Kaikoura, we thought, right, where do we want to go next? Okay, we'll go to just say Auckland, for example. It's not even on the same island, but so we want to go there. And then all you have to do is make your way up to that place, which is public transport's amazing in New Zealand. So anyways, for 6 months, I myself personally, I used that for 6 months solid to see all of New Zealand, basically, a lot of New Zealand, both islands. I didn't spend a penny, and I made a little bit of cash to move on to the next place, you know. So that was it. I used it there, and I forgot about that website for years, to be honest with you, for years. I went home, I got back into the work routine and all of that, you know, so I didn't really have time to do the voluntary thing. Go forward a good few years and to the start of the pandemic, where, you know, up until the pandemic, I was fortunate enough to be traveling every other month around the world to wherever I was choosing to go and things like that, you know. So I was doing little bits of voluntary work, I guess, in a way, with certain people in places that I went, but I wasn't using this, you know, the website for it. I was just kind of turning up to places and just helping them, you know. So it wasn't really classed as voluntary work. But once the pandemic hit and I was kind of stuck in the UK for a good few months, I couldn't go anywhere. The flights and everything were cancelled and stuff. So I thought, I wonder if Helpex is still going. I wonder if that website's still going, that voluntary thing. So I went on. Sure as hell, there it was. Exactly the same homepage, exactly the same everything. I was like, this is crazy. So I registered again, and I was like, cool. And I was working at the time. I was working 4 weeks on, 4 weeks off. So when I was working, obviously I was working, but in my spare time, on my time off, I was looking for things to do in the UK, you know, within the UK. And I found a farm in Tenby. I typed in South Wales. There was a few options, and a farm came up in Tenby. I messaged him, had a phone call with him. He said, yeah, I'm keen, come down. We'll have a couple of weeks trial, see how you get on, and this, that, and the other. I went down there, had an amazing experience once again. I've been there 4 or 5 times again. I'm actually going to see them tomorrow when I leave here because it's quite nearby. I'm going to stay with them for the night. I get on with them really well. So yeah, this is all through voluntary work. I mean, going back to New Zealand, I stayed in some fantastic places, you know, some amazing places. I mean, look at this place I'm staying in here. There's a little thing over there. I'll put a picture on the screen now. This is the best eco home in 2008. On the Grand Designs TV show, which is on Channel 4. I think it's still going actually here in the UK. So it won the best eco home. I mean, this place is amazing. While I'm talking now, let me just put a few video clips and photos up on the screen for you. But yeah, so I arrived here about a week ago. The woman that owns this place actually made this with help from friends and volunteers. Again, volunteers, you know, she had lots of volunteers come here to help. And it took her 3 years, I think she said, to build this place. I'm sure it was 3 years, 3 or 5 years. One of them, I'm pretty sure it's 3 years. But eco-friendly, an amazing build, absolutely amazing. I mean, the land that it's on is just unbelievable, you know. It's upon a hill, as you can see. It's upon a hill, kind of like a hill fort. There was an old fort on the top of this before this was built. They knocked the old fort, what the remains of the old fort was, they knocked down and built this amazing space on top of this hill. So all throughout the build and all throughout most of the time, the woman that owns and built this place, she had volunteers, you know, she's had volunteers here quite a lot. It's only the last few years she's kind of slowed down on that side of things, but she swears by, you know, volunteers. A lot of this work wouldn't have been done without volunteers. So she's used the opposite side of volunteering to me. You know, I've been giving my time and effort, whereas she's been kind of using the volunteers for her benefit and you know, giving them a place to stay and food and everything like that. So, but this place is honestly, it's unbelievable, and it's right up above a beautiful little town, like I said before, called St Dogmiles, or Llandudno if you're from Wales. Such a cute little village, you know, or town. It's these little Welsh towns and villages around this area they're kind of untouched, you know. This is a very, very special part of Wales as well. So that's why I kind of chose this area to do some volunteering, because I absolutely love the coastline here, just the way of life down here. It's a little bit like the Welsh version of Cornwall, you know. It's kind of on the end of a peninsula. Not a peninsula, it's on the end of a kind of, well, yeah, a peninsula, I guess. It's on the end of the earth, so to speak. So there's many creative people here. And you tend to find that. People that kind of live in the ends of the country, these little pockets, you know, there's nowhere else to go apart from the sea. They're very creative people. There's a lot of artistic people here. And I don't know if that's because there's not much else to do down here, so they end up just being very creative. I think that's probably something to do with it, because it's a little bit like that where I'm from. You know, it's quite remote. There's not a lot to do, so you kind of do get creative. So you do find a lot of creative people. Anyways, enough of the word creative. But yeah, absolutely special place. And there's a lovely little hut here as well where you can go and chill out. Beautiful little hut with a little fire in there, a little kitchen, and very cozy little kind of sofa bed thing that you can just chill out. The windows overlooking the estuary and the town below. It's just absolutely stunning. I mean, it's not sleepable, but you could sleep there if you wanted to, you know, as a one night kind of thing. But which I've done, and just purely because I wanted to see the sunrise from there. And wow, the colours were so deep, so red, so beautiful, and so peaceful because it's within the forest, you know. So you've got all the birds waking up, and it's heaven. And all of this is through voluntary work, you know. This is all costing me nothing. In this stay, I'm doing less hours for just the accommodation, so she's not feeding me here, so I'm fending for myself, so to speak. But you know, I can use the beautiful kitchen here, so I'm in beautiful surroundings. With that, when I'm not working, I've been able to really concentrate here on other things like video production, you know, doing all that kind of stuff that I can do on my laptop. I love having spaces like this where I can just zone out. So yes, my word to you would be, if you can, I know when you've got a 9 to 5, which most people do have, it's very difficult to kind of do some voluntary work as well. You just want to chill out and stuff, but if you do have the opportunity to do it, and you like meeting new people, you like doing new things, you like a bit of an adventurous lifestyle, then definitely try the volunteering, And a lot of people look at volunteering kind of, personally to me, in the wrong way. So some guy said to me the other day, actually, okay, so you're doing 5 hours work, and I could probably work that and get paid more than that, and just get a hotel room, so I don't have to do the work then. So I'm just kind of, and I was like, yeah, but it's the experience, it's not just kind of doing the work and that's it, and you're just working for nothing. It's the exchange, it's the experience you're getting, the skills you're learning, the people you're meeting, the places you stay. I mean, look at this place, man. Honestly, it's absolutely amazing. The finishing touches and stuff here, and the 2 little cats she's got here, the animals you meet. I could go on for days about it, So it's not all about, don't try and think about, well, I'd only be earning this much. Don't see it like that. Don't see it as a money thing. Don't see it as I feel like I'm getting more than my money's worth from this, being able to stay here. Like I say, all the stuff I'm able to do, the picking up things that I don't do very often, little jobs that I would never do unless I did a bit of voluntary work. And you don't feel pressured into doing anything perfect either, because the hosts, they know you're here to volunteer, and they know you've got limited skills, so they'll only ask you to do things like you're comfortable with doing. So absolutely 100% try it. Even if you've got a week off work or a few days off work, join the website, get in touch with a host. There's many hosts that will even have people for a couple of days, 2-3 days. They just want random little things done, maybe a bit of gardening, tidying up around the house. I don't know. There was one guy I met in New Zealand. He worked, I think it was for about 2 weeks, with an elderly woman who had a piano in her house, and she was just looking for someone who could play piano, like nice relaxing piano. And this guy could play the piano, so we went to stay with her, and he just had to play the piano every now and again for this woman while she ate her dinner, or was having lunch, or was just relaxing or something. Obviously it was like just in the morning or in the afternoon, so he could do his own thing. So that's what he was doing. He was just practicing piano, so to speak, and stayed in an amazing place with a lovely woman. So yeah, I've met some of the most fantastic people doing this as well. The people staying here, so this place is hired out as well. It's on Airbnb, but she also rents the whole space out for things like yoga retreats, meditation retreats, just that kind of thing. So there's 3 guys here at the moment who are doing a guitar building course in Cardigan, a nearby town, not very far at all. So they're here for a whole month. One guy's from the US, one guy's from France, and one guy's from the UK, and they're all here doing a Monday to Saturday course down in the town, and they're building their own guitar. So at the end of the month, they take the guitar home, and they've got themselves a new guitar. So they've booked this place out for the whole month. So I've got them here. I don't know if you can see down there. There's a huge bass guitar. There's all the guitars there. So they're big guitarists, but they've also got other instruments and stuff, So they've been coming back in the evenings. I've been coming up here, cooking my food, and they've just been jamming and practicing, and so I'm getting like 3 gigs every night, and they're the most amazing people, beautiful people, very nice people, very friendly. So yeah, I've just met 3 amazing people just by being here for a week, and voluntary work, folks. If you can do it. I seriously urge you to try a bit of voluntary work. And don't see it as work. Don't see it as work. See it as an experience. It's an exchange, It's an exchange, and that's what I love about it. I mean, the people, the hosts are so happy with the work that you kind of do for them. They're very happy, and yeah, very happy with volunteers to be here. That's why they ask volunteers to come. Do you know what I mean? Because they like having them here. They know a lot of them are helpful, so they can get a lot of stuff done. And I just love helping people anyway. I just love the whole exchange thing. Not about the money. It's not about the money. it's just about the helping. It's about the exchange. It's about what you can give them and what they can give you in return. So yes, folks, I'll wrap it up there. I've gone on about it a bit too long now, probably. But I just wanted to show you guys this amazing space I'm in right now. And yeah, Helpexnet or the other ones, you know, I don't know that their websites work away, things like that. But the one I use is helpex.net, and I've used that since, like I say, 2010. So it's always done me good. And you can see the reviews of other people. It's like Airbnb, so you can see the reviews of what other people have said about staying with hosts, and vice versa for the hosts. They can see how you know the reviews of the volunteers. So you have to do good, basically, if you want to get good reviews. Anyways, folks, get out there if you can. And again, it's really good for mental health. It really is. You know, it's if you're like struggling with your mental health, or you're feeling like you've got a bit of spare time, you know, like you're feeling a bit bored in your spare time, or you're not feeling great mentally. It's an amazing thing to do as well. You know, an amazing thing to do. Because you just, like I say, you're meeting loads of great people, loads of great animals. I love the animals I meet here. Like these two cats that are here, they are so cute. They are like, they've nearly had me in tears with how cute they are. You know, they're just joined at the hip. They've been together they're 19 and 20 years old, and they've lived in this house the whole time. And they're just so cute. They are literally just joined at the hip. They go everywhere together. It's fantastic. Like, the hardest thing is saying goodbye to these people and these animals. That's the hard thing about volunteering. Anyways, if you want any more advice, any more information, or you want to ask any questions, please leave them in the comments, or you can email me at welshgingerhobo@gmail.com. I'm always up for helping people and promoting voluntary work, you know, so go and get out there. Give me a shout if you do. Let me know what you get up to, and if you do use helpex.net, if you find it useful or anything, again, leave it in the comments or email me. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to go and do some work now. I've got to head off and do my little bit of graft for the day. I've got to earn my keep. So I'm off now. I'm off to do a bit of gardening today. Until the next one, folks, stay chirpy. Take care of yourselves. Peace.